Hello, my limitless, flawless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you are all choosing to be the version of yourself that has your manifestation. But if you're not, and you're feeling exhausted, and you're getting frustrated with your 3D, then you're going to want to watch this video, okay? Let's jump in with some basic bitch. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below or in the screens. It just went by. I have 2 channel memberships. I go live with my channel members 2 different times per week for well over an hour. I go live with the exclusive lives group Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. It's a zhuzh-only group, no circumstances, just success stories. And holy balls, the success stories in that channel membership last night were off the chain. In this group, listen, we talk about successes, tips, and tricks. And there's usually always a decent amount of time for me to zhuzh, to discuss manifestation. There were so many success stories last night in that group that Kim had less than 10 minutes to talk. Not kidding. It was amazing. The vibe in that group last night was off the chain. So if you want to zhuzh, that's the group for you. Or if you're someone that wants to ask me specific questions about your specific circumstances, you're going to want to join the hot seat / group coaching, which I go live with them every single Friday at 9 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. That is the group to ask those types of questions. If you join that group, hot seat coaching, you have access to both of the groups. Also, the hot seat group is the only one that I do record and upload to the hot seat playlist. I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Clapper, and I have my other life channel. It's called literally Kimberly's Other Life. I try to do my best to say thank you to all of you that have joined me over there. Really do appreciate it. And it's literally what it sounds like. It's my other life, meaning all the other stuff that's not manifestation, that's that channel. So if you just want to zhuzh with me and hang out with me during the week, come on over there. So that's it with the basic bitch. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and come back and hang out with us HBICs, because the HBICs, we get success stories. We get successes. We get what we want. We do. And we make manifestation easy, because it is. It just sometimes doesn't feel easy, but it is. So let's jump in. I am back with answering a couple of super chat questions. And this one I'm going to answer, I think is going to be helpful to a lot of you. And you know what? I wish someone was answering this question for me way back when, in the beginning of my journey. So it's about when you're feeling exhausted, when you're trying to maintain a specific state. Let's read the question. Hi, Kim. I am getting so exhausted maintaining positive desired states. Now people are treating me poorly and I feel guilty for not having the strength. First and foremost, I know I have said this countless times. I say it in probably every single live stream, pretty damn close. And I mean the live streams from YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. This is never a journey of perfection. We are not required to be perfect individuals in order to manifest. We are not required to always be in a good mood and maintain positive vibes in order to manifest. That is a false, limiting belief. So number one, you are not expected to maintain the wish-fulfilled state. If you're new here and you don't know what that means, the wish-fulfilled state means the version of you that has your manifestation, the wish fulfilled. You are not required to maintain that state. And it was directly Neville Goddard who said, it's not about how long you are in that state. It is about the frequency of returning to that state. And that's why I call it the returning to your decision. And it's the decision to be the version of yourself that has your manifestation. So first and foremost, no wonder you're exhausted. You are trying to do like the impossible. And I do see it as impossible. Maybe that's a limiting belief, but I own it. You're having a human experience. You're having human moments. There's going to be times where you're frustrated, and that's okay. And I don't mean that from the perspective of you can expect for life to suck. I don't mean it like that. I just mean that when you are feeling that way, it's okay. It's literally okay. So reassure yourself. I don't have to be in this state 24/7. I don't have to do everything right. You know why? Because me deciding to be the version of me that has my manifestation is me doing everything right. That's all that's required of me, is choosing to be that version of myself. That's it. And like I said, to anybody that's new, the version of self, if you don't understand that there are infinite versions of you, this is where you're going to want to start listening, because there are infinite versions of you. Think about everything in your life that you've had to make a decision on. Should I do this or should I do that? Well, when you choose decision one, I'm going to choose to go this way, that other decision is still in existence. It's still created, right? So there's a version of you that chose decision two. So you are so powerful. You have the ability to make a choice. You know what? I chose this one. I'm in this reality. I kind of want to go to that one now. And by deciding to be the you that made decision two, you hop to that reality. I know that sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and sometimes that can be hard to get our heads around, and that's okay, because the decision to keep hanging around and learning more about manifestation, that will become more clear for you, and it'll make more sense and easier to believe. But that's exactly what it means as far as the frequency of returning to the state of the wish fulfilled. It's the repetition or the frequency of you deciding to be that version of yourself. Or another way of saying it is embodying that version of self or that state. It's the frequency, the repetition of the returning to it that makes that state or version of self feel more natural. And the more natural it feels, the easier it is for you to what? Get in that state and maintain it, even though that's not required of us. It becomes easier. So it's the repetition, dear. It's not the long ass stretch of time. It's the frequency of returning. So right off the top, let's take that right off your shoulders. You should not be trying to force yourself to maintain a state. You're not going to be able to anyway. You're not going to force your way into a state. That's not how this works. So take that pressure, literally, throw it out the window. And, you know, if people are in your reality and they are treating you poorly, we want to ask ourselves why. Now, first of all, people in our reality are always ever reflecting us. They're reflecting who we believe we are. So, for example, you could have a generalized belief that, we'll use your job as an example, that there's always going to be one ass at work. There's always going to be that one person who's a nosy ass. Well, guess what? Someone at your work has to fulfill that in order to reflect you, because that's how powerful you are. When you are choosing to be a version of yourself, when you are embodying a specific state, your 3D has to reflect that, has to reflect who you are. And your state is just the culmination or the sum total of all of your beliefs. So whether it's specific beliefs about the subject you're manifesting in, or all of your generalized belief, they're all in that mixing bowl. Okay. So if you have like I said, this is just an example. If you have a generalized belief that there's always going to be at least one asshole at work, someone's going to fulfill that role and show up and probably treat you shitty. So you want to take a look at, what beliefs do you have? You know, the people that are showing up in your life and not treating you the way you deserve, let's ask ourselves, why? What are you believing specifically about these people? All of that matters. All of that matters. So you could be in the state of your wish fulfilled, but at the same time still have a belief that there's always an asshole at work, or there's always an ass at school. There's always a bully at school. You could still be in your wish fulfilled of having your, let's say, SB manifestation or your money manifestation. But the belief of there's always going to be that one turd, if that's still in your state, if that's still in the who you believe you are, you're going to experience it. So why don't we decide that we are the versions of selves that not only have our manifestation, but we are also always treated with love, kindness, and respect from every single person we intermingle with. Let's decide to be that version of self. Do you see what I mean? Again, you are so powerful that you can choose to light up any state of your choice. And there are infinite states, infinite. I think sometimes people start a manifestation journey and they look at it as magic. Poof, poof. Okay, now everything's going to be wonderful, beautiful, perfect forever. Well, unless you create that belief and decide that's going to be true for you, you're still going to be living a natural, normal life in the 3D, along with having your manifestation. But yeah, you could be in the wish fulfilled, but still have a belief that people suck. You're going to therefore experience that because your state or who you are being is always, ever, all of your beliefs in one big mixing bowl. So what are you thinking? What are you choosing for yourself? Who do you believe you are? Let's decide that everyone treats you with love and kindness and respect. But I do want to add to this for anybody else listening as well. I have said this countless times, and I want you to know that not only do I say it whenever I'm asked, I live by this. This is how I handle my 3D. Just because you are manifesting, just because you're manifesting, and just because people are reflecting your beliefs, that doesn't mean you have to tolerate shit from people you encounter. Now, don't get me wrong. Is it easier? Is it a more pleasurable journey to just assume everyone treats you with love, kindness, and respect? And at the same time, when you intermingle with someone and if they show up unfavorably and are not treating you very nice, is it more pleasurable probably for you to look at that as, okay, they're reflecting a belief within. So I'm going to let this go. I'm going to forgive this. I'm going to keep my lips closed and I'm just going to turn the other cheek. Is that probably the best decision? Well, of course, right? I'm not trying to get you to incite violence. I'm saying that's not how I handle my 3D. If I am having a 3D experience where someone is showing up and treating me unfavorably, unfairly, and especially if I feel like I haven't done anything wrong, I will take that moment at some point, maybe not in the exact moment that I'm experiencing it, but after the fact, I will ask myself, all right, what am I believing about myself? What am I choosing to believe that I would have this experience? I definitely don't blame and shame myself for it, and I hope you're not doing that either. And I see that you said, I feel guilty for not having strength. Throw that out the window. You're choosing to be a version of yourself that can be easily guilted, and we don't want to do that because we don't have to live like that. However, I will still take the moment and ask myself, who am I being? Who do I believe I am? What belief am I creating that I'm experiencing this ass in my reality? I will do that. And I will choose to be a different version of myself. But in the moment, if someone is treating me unfairly and rudely, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't hold myself to perfection. I will speak authentically to that person. I will correct their behavior to their face. Not an altercation, not nastiness, but I will set that boundary. That's who I am. That's my personality, and I'm not willing to change that. So you see, even though this person may be reflecting a belief of mine that they're showing up unfavorably, I'm still going to probably run my mouth. Why? Because I'm a human. I'm a human and I have human moments. And I know I don't have to be perfect in order to experience my desires. But again, I will take that moment and say, all right, what belief is at play here that I'm having this experience? Or maybe it's with someone specifically. What am I believing about this person that I just had that experience? Let's choose a new belief, Kim. Yes, for sure. And that's what you should do with yourself. But again, you are not a doormat because you're manifesting. And I don't think that's said enough in this community, along with the idea of boundaries. I am very, very aware that there are other coaches who do not agree with setting boundaries in the 3D. And that is their own personal opinion. And that is they're allowed. They have the free will to make that decision for themselves and their own reality. So we cannot judge them for that decision. However, I completely 100%, absolutely million, trillion, gazillion percent disagree with that mentality. 100%, like the gavel is down, right? Court is in order. I do not agree with that. I also think it's borderline unhealthy. Just saying. Because to think that you must sit with lips sealed if someone is treating you poorly is poppycock. When you set boundaries, and again, you don't have to set these boundaries. You could be mentally setting boundaries, right? You don't have to have an emotional, physical, any kind of altercation in your 3D. But when you choose to look at some behaviors, ask yourself who you're believing you are and why is this even, showing up in the 3D. But from there, yes, I have the right to say, I know that I'm manifesting this. I know this is a reflection of me, but I do not tolerate this disrespectful behavior. I do not tolerate. Here's the boundary. Absolutely. That is you choosing you in that moment. So please never feel that you must sit there and take someone's shit because you're manifesting. Again, you deciding to take a look at what belief is causing this is good, and more than likely will eliminate you dealing with it again in your 3D. However, for the moment, it's okay. It's okay to say, yeah, no, this behavior is unacceptable. Even if you're reflecting me, it's unacceptable. And I would appreciate if you didn't do that again. Thank you very much. End of discussion. Period. Boundary set. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? Seriously. So you shaming yourself, that's what it sounds like you're doing. You're shaming yourself because you didn't have the strength to, get back into the state when someone's showing up unfavorably. Stop that. That's nonsense. We should never be beating ourselves up on this journey. You are choosing to shift. You're choosing to evolve. You're rising in consciousness. Guess what? That's enough. That's enough. So let me say this. If it's really, really bothering you that maybe you reacted, maybe you responded, revise it. We are never stuck with things we don't like. We are never stuck in circumstances. Never, ever. There are no obstacles. We are not failures if we've reacted or responded. Revise it. If it's really weighing on your shoulders, revise. Revise that it never happened. Revise that that was a wonderful exchange of words with whatever person. Revise it. Revise. Or choose to decide, I can't mess this up. I don't like that I did that. I don't like that I responded. I don't like that I don't have the strength when someone's showing up shitty. Okay, I don't have to pretend I like that. But guess what? I'm choosing to be the version of me that's having her full, loving, fulfilling, committed relationship, the money, whatever it is you're manifesting. I'm choosing to be her. So I'm not even going to beat myself up for this because there's no point, because I could easily revise it and make it go away. I'm going to choose to not give a shit, and I'm going to choose new self and not even give that any more focus and move on. I know the way I'm delivering this, it seems so flippant, like just get over it, but you can be any version of yourself. Why self-torture? Why? Not necessary. Revise and stop holding yourself to such a high bar of perfection. It's totally unnecessary for this journey. Totally unnecessary. The only necessity is choosing new self. That's it. Meaning deciding you are the you that has your manifestation. There's your requirement. All the rest is just circumstances and conditions. Boop. That's not who you are anymore. Really that simple. So, on that note, that was one of my super chat questions that I have chosen to answer in this video. And I'm kind of liking the way I'm handling these super chat questions now. I like it, especially if it's a video that really would do itself well to have a full video dedicated to it. I think this is how I'm going to be handling the super chats from this point on, instead of, feeling the pressure of, oh my God, I have so many to do. I have to do every single one from this one live stream when that can make a really obnoxiously long video, which, hey, I know some of us love long videos, but some of us don't. And this is a lot more freeing because I'm able to keep subjects together. So yeah, I'm probably going to be doing it from this point on. So, all right, stop talking, Kim. On that note, choose who you want to be. Decide that's who you are now. And let that 3D flow. Let the 3D flow, because it's completely your unfolding to your manifestation. Nothing to worry about, nothing to panic over, choose. On that note, for real, I'll see you tomorrow.